Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I'm just going to allow you to watch this entire video. It's a little bit long, but I'm sure that you will enjoy it. Basically, this chick is trying to get out of paying child support any way that she possibly can. I'm actually not going to interrupt this video. I'm just going to let you watch it. Enjoy.
Now I'm requesting a DNA test.
Yes, ma'am, I do. Yes, I am aware of that now.
The child lives with the father currently. Parties are in agreement that the child has government medical. Parties are in agreement that the mother has no other children. Gross monthly wages are $3,900. Parties are in agreement for the father not to receive any retroactive child support. Parties are in agreement for a geographic restriction to the Dallas and contiguous counties. At this time, I am going to take testimony. Mr. Abrego, can you please state your full name?
Yes, ma'am. My first name is Christopher. Last name is Abrego, Abrego.
Sir, can you please state the name of the child of this matter?
Emiliana Vidane Abrego, ma'am.
And her full name? I'm sorry, her age?
14.
Sir, did you hear the pronouncements that I made?
Her age?
No, did you hear the things that I stated?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Are those parts still your agreement?
Yes, I mean,
Just those parts, sir.
that's fine.
Okay. Do you believe they're in the best interest of your daughter?
Yeah. That's exactly the reason why I'm doing all this.
Okay. And are you asking the court to accept those parts?
Yes, ma'am. The one that I guess it's come to agreement. Is that what you're talking about?
The parts that I read as an agreement are asking the court to accept those parts.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, when your daughter was born, did you sign an acknowledgement of paternity?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And you signed and dated this document?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Are you aware that the mother is now requesting a DNA test?
Yes, ma'am, I do. Yes, I am aware of that now.
Thank you. And you understand that she's stating that she believes that you're Emiliana. I'm sorry. Okay, I lied. I lied about not positive because I got to, y'all. I'm sorry. The way that she looking into this camera has got me. Okay, that's number one. Like, she's like disagreeing with stuff. She don't even understand what's going on for real. And did you hear the premise of it? She is the daughter is 14 years old. 14 years old. And now this chick all of a sudden wants to claim that the child is not biologically his. After all this time, this has not been an issue prior to these court proceedings. But now all of a sudden, she wants to go down the route of this kid not even yours. Like, she doesn't understand. All of those things is crazy. Coming here into this courtroom to act a fool is crazy. But then also trying to convince somebody to court anybody that this child is not his child. Chicks be playing a dangerous game with these men for real, because you cannot randomly tell these men that's been taking care of these kids 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years that suddenly they're not their children. Do you know men have spazzed out about that? Men have unalived these chicks over that. Anyway, sorry for lying to y'all about not pausing this video. Here we go. Anna is not your child.
I do understand that now.
Okay. All right. You are requesting to be, if the case goes forward, you are requesting to be named joint managing conservators with Miss Lyra. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. That means sharing custody, correct?
Sharing conservatorship, yes.
Yes, ma'am. I'm fine. I want that.
And you are in agreement for her to have a state standard visitation. Is that
Yes,
correct?
ma'am. I want her to be available to her mother as much as possible.
Okay.
Ever since she kicked me out and my daughter's been with me, a lot of these allegations started coming up with the sexual allegations and the violence and all that. And everything's been, I've let all the authorities check everything out, and everything's been checked out thoroughly. But yeah, that's how all that's beginning. Other than that, that's about it, man.
Okay. I pass the witness. Miss Lyra, can you please state your...
I'm sorry. Before I let her talk, I'm so sorry, you guys. I thought I was gonna be able to do it. I don't know who I was fooling. Do you know what kind of a crap mother you have to be in order to not have custody of your child? Even though you have been trying to accuse this man of all type of sexual misconduct, violent criminal activity. You've been trying to convince people, of the usual. He's a maniac. He's an abuser. He's this, he's that, he's doing this and that. He's sexually inappropriate and all of these things that you want to try to tell the court. Do you know what type of piece of crap as a female you actually got to be to still lose your custody?
full name for the record?
Nancy.
Miss Lyra, the beginning portions I read as an agreement, are those portions still your agreement?
You said no retroactive regards to the father, income regards to the father, as far as like retrieving any past due amounts that may be applicable.
No retroactive support of you owe to him.
Okay. I'm not sure if I'm able to add.
She's stupid, in other words.
The years that he was not provided for the
So
family.
you want to pay him retroactive child support? Is that what you're saying?
No, not myself. As far as himself paying it back to me.
So, ma'am, you're not in agreement with the earlier portions that I read?
Because I don't have an attorney present, I'm not quite understanding the terms of this. So that's why kind of it's going to be redundant with me a little bit until I understand what it fully understand means.
That's fine.
And that, because it you know what I mean? It's just
This is an idiot here, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. She's stupid. Cole, you stupid. She can't even get it out. How you didn't understand what was being said to begin with? You know what I mean? And then you didn't even ask for the clarification. You trying to make your own clarification out of it. Girl, talking about so he should be paying child support back to her for the time that he wasn't taking care of her. But y'all was living together with the child. What is you saying? Like, what are you saying? This one is an idiot. But I told y'all a lot of these hyenas, that comprehension be kicking their butt, boy. They are not bright.
the eloquency of the words are just there.
Okay, ma'am. I will start over, okay? Ma'am, is your child covered under the government plan?
Yes.
Okay. Ma'am, is it true that you don't have any other minor children?
Correct.
Okay. Ma'am, is your gross monthly wages $3,900?
Approximate, correct.
Okay. Ma'am, are you in agreement not to pay the father retroactive child support for the periods that the child has lived with the father?
Correct.
Okay. Are you in agreement to a geographic restriction to the Dallas and contiguous counties? That is the 40 miles outside of Dallas.
Like me being restricted to stay away?
Not stay away from your child, ma'am. Are you in agreement for the father who the child lives with not to be able to move with the child outside of the Dallas and contiguous counties without notifying the court and you for permission first?
Correct. Yeah.
Are you in agreement with court costs being billed to you today?
No.
Ma'am, are you requesting a DNA test?
Yes.
Okay. And you saw the acknowledgement of paternity that you signed 14 years ago?
No, the
Ma'am, did you see the acknowledgement of paternity that I showed earlier?
I saw the copy.
Okay. And how old is your daughter?
She's 14.
Okay. And have you had an opportunity to do a DNA test before now?
I have. Technically, I have. Technically, there has been a lot of time to do it, but with the clarity of certain situations and information, I think it's best for me to clarify any doubts and concerns. As far as the paternity, signing that statement does not necessarily state that I consciously obviously gave permission to someone to have a child with my body, nor was it myself that signed that particular document and or dated that document.
So are you understanding goofball and what she's saying? Goof troop is saying, is she trying to convince somebody that the paternity document that was signed at the child's birth, that her and the father of that child signed, she's now trying to convince somebody that she didn't really have full access to her faculties or whatever, and she didn't really sign that paper. Miss Magoo, Mrs. Magoo, yes, you did sign them papers. Yes, you did. Sitting up there looking about ugly. Yes, you did. Buck your eyes one more time and sit up in that courtroom and lie, talking about, and I didn't consciously sign those documents or date those documents. And then did you hear I gave permission for somebody to have a baby with my body? Like, what is you saying? What are you even saying? She can't even get it straight. Trying to speak in liberalese. You know, that's that liberal talk. You know, a child with my body. You know how they get super technical, but it be stupid. Anyway.
Okay. The father is requesting to be named joint managing conservators with you. Are you in agreement to that?
I would like to be sole managing conservator, not joint.
Who does the child live with?
With him.
Okay. Are you in agreement for the standard possession visitation?
No, I would like to do the extensive if it goes that route.
If you're requesting an expanded standard visitation, is that correct? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay. The state is requesting for child support to be set at $610, which is 20% of your income. Are you in agreement with that?
No, ma'am.
What do you believe child support should be set at?
I had stated it 200 due to the fact of me being previous head hold for the duration of.
Okay, so do you understand that child support?
Trying to get out of paying less than the bare minimum. Now, when it's the man's turn to pay the child support, they want everything. They want the 20% and they be wanting more. How many times have we seen these chicks go back to court talking about they want to increase in the child support because just out of spite mostly. But if that man make $1 or $2 more, they be talking about we want to increase. And many times I've seen the men will come to court and they will make a strong case with proof about how much the child support is, and it's basically making them homeless. Like they're unable to pay for their basic living, rent, back and forth to work, food, clothing, things of that nature. When you make the child support so high that a person cannot actually live on their own, And the wives, these little women, not no wives, but these women, they be sitting in the court laughing. They be sitting in the court smiling. They don't care. That man can say whatever he want to say. And a lot of time the judges be on the chick side, no matter how crazy it is and no matter how unreasonable it is. But we're going to keep going.
Is set using a state guideline of 20%.
That is correct.
Okay. The state is requesting for medical support to be set at $250. Are you in agreement with that?
I mean, I had stated 150.
You want to pay $150 a month?
That's what I stated. Yes, ma'am.
I don't understand why you would even try to want DNA testing today, Ms. Lita. That's completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. Makes no sense. The only thing is you do not want to pay child support. That's really what it boils down to. You don't want to pay. You want to everything your way and nothing another way. That makes no sense. That's not in your child's best interest. If you had doubts about DNA, you wouldn't have signed the paper 14 years ago. If you had further doubts after that, you could have done DNA tests over the last 14 years. It's not in the child's best interest to do DNA at this point. Mr. Abrego is taking care of the child. That doesn't make any sense at all. I don't understand that. I don't know if you think this is comical or what, but this is about your child and what's in your child's best interest. It's not in your child's best interest to do that. It's in your best interest to not to have to pay child support. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm denying your request for DNA testing. You should have done that many years ago. And that way your child could know if Mr. Abrego wasn't the father, then your child could know who that real father is, if that's the case. But you chose not to. You signed the paper knowingly. The paper says you signed the paper saying that you admitted that Mr. Abrego was the father, that you did not want DNA testing, and that you knew that this was a legal finding in the court order that in that paper that he was the father. If you did have doubts, then you didn't have to sign the paper. Nobody twisted your arm and made you sign the paper. You signed it. You told Mr. Abrego he was the father. Y'all lived together. I can see on there that y'all lived at the same address. And so you chose to have him to be the father. He's taking care of this child. There's no reason for that ridiculous argument. It makes no sense. So I don't want you to ever hear that ever again. I hope you're not trying to tell your child that ever at all either, because that's completely ridiculous. Makes no sense. I'm finding that you're basically only wanting that to not pay child support. Your child support is going to be $610 a month that you're paying to Mr. Abrego. Medical support is going to be $250 a month. Nobody owes anything up from the past. Mr. Abrego's not asking for any money from you. You're not getting any money from him. That's ridiculous that you would even try to mention that, since he's the one taking care of your child. So nobody owes anybody anything as of today. Beginning December 1st, your child support will be due and owing, and you'll be paying child support, Ms. Lita. There's been no family violence within the last 2 years. I don't know if you can count, but 2021 is not within the last 2 years. And so I don't understand why you've been bringing that up. And again, it doesn't make any sense. Because you're not able to reach agreements even in court hearing, I don't think that y'all should be joint managed conservators. So I'm appointing Mr. Abrego as a sole managing conservator, because I don't see how y'all can reach agreements if you're making these ridiculous arguments today. If you're doing this in court, I don't know what y'all would do out on the street and at your house. It makes no sense. So Mr. Abrego should have the rights to make all decisions regarding the child, since you can't come to any reasonable argument. And then I'm not doing expanded standard based on these ridiculous arguments either. So we're doing standard visitation, which would be Friday through Sunday, from Friday at 6 until Sunday at 6. I'm not doing the expanded standard. That's for people that are able to work together. And obviously, Ms. Lita, you're not able to work with Mr. Abrego at all, because basically your way or the highway, I guess, kind of thing is what it sounds like to me. And that's not what we're going to do. So you're going to have a set schedule from Friday at 6 until Sunday at 6 every other weekend, and every Thursday for 2 hours. And then the holidays are split up. You can read in the court order what those all mean, and you need to follow those. Don't change from those, especially if you aren't able to reach agreements. Ms. Lita, you order to pay the court cost. The Attorney General's office is going to put that all in a court order for me to sign. It'll have all that more in detail. You'll get a copy of that. Read it so you understand what it says. And so if you ever have questions, you can go read the order again and see what it says, and you need to follow the court orders. I'm not sure I don't quite understand what these silly arguments are, but I'm not going to be part of those. All right, so this is what's in the best interest of your child, even if you don't agree, and that's what you have to do so that she can have a successful future.
Are you aware that the mother?
And she was sitting there trying to cry, looking like a Family Guy drawing, trying to cry because the judge treated her like a man. That's essentially what happened. The judge treated her like the family courts usually treat men. You come in trying to say this and say that, and the judge is not having it. All of that she was trying to do, and the judge just decided, you know what? He needs to be the sole custody, not you, not joint, not even joint. We're not even going to give you joint because you're ridiculous. So we're going to just let him have sole custody of the child. We're not doing any kind of special visitations. You're going to get the basic visitation that most men get. That little nothing little weekend that you get Friday through Sunday. That's not enough time with your child. And really, she don't need no time with that child, because whatever time she gets, she's going to be trying to use it to tank that girl. So I'm glad that the judge is saying she getting that little nothing burger little weekend, and then that's it. And she cannot come live with you for a particular amount of time. It's not going to be joint custody. You know what kind of piece of crap you got to be as a female in an American family court system to have the judge look at you like you cock-eyed. Even the lady that was reading the agreements and things of that nature, when she was like, no, I want to be the sole conservatorship, and the lady just shut that down. She was like, who the child live with? You see what I'm saying? Like, we not going through the rigmarole with you. You stupid, beloved, and we're not going to participate in your stupidity. You want to sit there and be dumb? You can do it by yourself, but I'm not going to hand you a court order about you being stupid. But I just wanted you guys to check that out for a little minute. Hope you enjoyed that. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.